Okay, what's going on, LBHT crew? B, Yolanda, what is going on?
Nothing. Just a happy Wednesday to you both and everyone in the chat.
Indeed, it is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week is going well, but if not, hopefully it gets better starting right now. Look, we got everybody. Look, Coach sent everybody over here. He sent the whole crew over here. Pretty girl TLB, what's going on? Yes, Coach sent you over here. T, what's going on? Says Coach ordered me to come over here. Man, he had to order you, T? I thought we were friends. Wow. He said you will march right over there, young lady. Okay. What's up, Agent E? Coach didn't send you. Okay.
No.
Coach didn't send you.
Some of y'all be lying when you say that.
Straight line.
I appreciate it.
Look. He said Coach sent me and immediately went to one of my points.
Gotta love it.
Eric Plummer in the house. What's going on? Coach did not send you. Okay. Thanks for coming through. Shout out to Coach and shout out to what did I say? Somebody subscribe. I did not read that in time. I'm sorry, but shout out to you for subscribing. Shout out to everybody that hit that subscribe button. Oh, there we are. That's who subscribed. Oniyayend. Yes, we are in here. Salute to you.
Thank
Jay
you.
Rock, salute to you. Jemiah in the house. Clot in the house. Help me. Stanley Leonard says. Say, I don't know about y'all, but it's cooler than Eskimo. Hey, you can't say that. You can't say that. It's cooler out. It's cool out there. Okay. And it's 20 degrees in Alabama. Sheesh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was like 12 degrees over here. So whatever. Produced by Urban Closer. That's MJ. I know who that is. That's MJ. He says, yo, yes, Coach beat you by he beat you by 1 second. I was in there earlier. Okay. And he said you gotta be quicker than that. Okay. Noah's what's going on? Says save Bryce 2024.
Ooh.
That's right.
Yes. Raven Ron in the house says, what up, LBHT? That warm dome team coming to be more and not getting no more than 10 points on an L. Talking about the Houston Texans. I like the sound of that.
You like it, Raven Ron.
I like the sound of that. All right. Michael Osborne in the house says Coach sent him. Okay. Salute to you. Salute to Jay the Sixth. Appreciate you coming through. Agnes, what's going on? Agnes, our newest patron. Thanks for coming through.
Hi, Agnes.
Yes. The DJ. Yes. He said, well, he really did. I know. Coaches are people. Okay. We're all part of the same crew, the Ravens Roundup crew. Okay. If you don't know who that is, that's myself, Brodny. Okay. Coach Evans, obviously, who sent you here. Mm-hmm. I have Chris Just Joking from the Deep Cover Podcast, OTR Mike from Open Mic with OTR Mike, and Hendo from the Rogue Pod. Okay. We do that show every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. So you should be subscribed to all of our stuff. All right. Because we all put out that hot fire. All right. And what's going on, Big Reds? Living big with Big Reds. Salute to you. One Session, salute to you. Thanks for coming through. Zeke Hokage, what up? All right. And 410 easy. I see you, Jeremy. All right. Trying to get all the shout outs out the way. Salute to you guys. All right. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. So wherever you're watching us, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe or follow whatever that platform tells you to do. You do that. Okay. And if you're listening to the audio side of it, make sure you give us a 5-star review wherever you listen to this on your favorite platform. Okay. All right. Listen, we put out 2 videos today, man. We've been working. All right. From 2 people who do not like to work. We've been working a lot. All right. That's just a primer. We're going to be talking some Ravens playoff game against the Texans this weekend.
Yep.
Okay. I hear some chirping going back and forth. That's fine. A little banter. Some Ravens fans don't like when the other team talks a little trash. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to get their team hyped up. We're going to talk about that. Don't worry about that. We're going to talk about the Panthers beginning their search for a new head coach. All right. I think it's going to be a pretty quick search. I think we already know who they're going after, but we'll discuss that as well. All right. We have a couple of cases on the court of public opinion. Somebody shaking their head. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know. Okay. I don't know anything about that. Okay. But yes, it's going to be an interesting court of public opinion. Actually, we're going to have two cases because this other one, it's a big one. It's a big one. And I did my research and not too many people are talking about it. How did that one miss the news cycle? We'll discuss that. All right. And shout out to D Weezy for sliding that story to us. Okay. All right. We're going to get this show started. But first, we like to start every show with a Black History fact. And B has a Black History fact for you. Oh, no. Okole. B and Okole have a Black History fact for you.
Welcome to this week's LBHT Black History Fact. Oscar Robertson, who went by the nickname The Big O, was born in Charlotte, Tennessee in 1938, but soon moved to Indianapolis, where he grew up. Robertson played for Crispus Attucks High School, an all-black school that was featured as a part of the storyline in the film Hoosiers. As a sophomore, Robertson lost to Milan High, who would eventually become state champions. Over the next 2 seasons, Robertson and Crispus Attucks won 2 state championships and lost only 1 game. They were the first all-black school in the country to win a state championship in basketball. Robertson went on to play college ball at Cincinnati, where he led the nation in scoring, was named All-American, and won Player of the Year in 3 straight seasons. After college, Robertson continued his dominant and record-setting style. He won an Olympic gold medal, NBA Rookie of the Year, League MVP, and an NBA championship. He was a 12-time All-Star, 11-time All-NBA selection, and the first player in history to average a triple-double for a full season. And on this day in 1961, with 23 points and 14 assists, Robertson became the youngest player ever to win the All-Star Game MVP award. After his retirement, Robertson had his number retired by the Cincinnati Bearcats, Sacramento Kings, and the Milwaukee Bucks. He was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame in 1980 and was recognized in 2021 as part of the NBA's 75th anniversary team, cementing his legacy as one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
Salute to the Big O, the human triple-double. You know, until Russell Westbrook did it, I didn't think anybody would ever be able to do it again. And look, I know how you feel about Russell Westbrook. That's still a great feat. You know, that's a great accomplishment.
I don't feel any kind of way about Russell Westbrook. He was just washed when he came to the Lakers. I don't have any problem with Russell Westbrook. He was a phenomenal player.
A phenomenal player. Time. Yes. Coach says, man, that jumper looks like mine. You know what mine used to look like? A friend of mine corrected it. I used to look like the Matrix. Y'all know the Matrix?
Corrected you right out the NBA.
Sean Marion. Yeah. I should shoot from the
chest passes to the rim.
A friend of mine older friend of mine pulled me to the side. I was like, nah, that's not how you shoot the ball. Let me show you. It used to go in. He used to go in. All right. But
that's all that matters.
Yes, Sean Marion. Yep. Okay, all right. Look, I forgot to tell everybody, BDub64, what's going on, man? Thanks for coming through. Everybody that came from Coach's Stream, salute to MDT Sports, King 95, salute to you guys. Shiloh, what up? I forgot to tell you guys, okay, we have a point system over here as well. Same way that Coach does it over there. Not exactly the same way, but very similar. So just being here, get you points. Subscribing, get you points. So hit that subscribe button because we got goals here. All right, we're trying to hit that 2,000. All right, just saying. donating, obviously, sign up to our patreon.com/LBHT Show. All that stuff gets you points. All right. What are those points good for? At the end of the month, the person with the most points gets a prize. All right. We give them a little room to choose the prize that they want. Okay. Within a certain dollar amount. And the second prize goes to the winner of our drawing, which will be a $25 Amazon gift card. And how do you qualify for the drawing? You just need to get 1,000 points, which is easy peasy. Okay. All the things that I told you to do will get you points. Submitting questions, and we read your questions during the submitted question segment. That'll get you points. Getting our trivia right at the end of the show will get you points. Right. The first 3 that get it right.
Yeah.
Will get you points. All right. So there's all kinds of ways. Basically, just participate. Just participate.
And I'm just going to give you a little secret, too, because people in the chat don't like to cheat. So if you want to get that 1,000 points, have Google open when I ask the question, and you're going to be first. No question.
Yes. Also, right below me, under my name, LBHTShow.com. If you go over there, right, you'll have a little pop-up to sign up for our newsletter, which hasn't come out yet. We're working on it. Okay. But you sign up for the newsletter, hit us up. That's an instant 1,000 points. Okay. Hey, shout out to our guy Dre, Mr. Galloway. Go subscribe to his channel as well. Just good evening, everyone. Him and Hendo put out a great stream. It was yesterday, right? Was it yesterday? Mm-hmm. Asking the question, do you want to meet your heroes? Right? Your favorite actor, rapper, singer, whatever. Like, do you want to meet them? Because a lot of these people are jerks.
Yeah, the answer is no, because they're dirtbags.
They're not all dirtbags.
Not all of them. Like I told him, Hendo met me, and he had a great experience. But just the higher up you go, your chances get worse. But sometimes it works out okay.
Yeah. All right, let's get this show started. All right, everybody. Look, a lot of people came from Coach's channel, so they're here for that Ravens content. Okay, they want to know how this game's going to go down on Saturday. B, how's it going to go?
Well, I told you my opinion, and this is just my opinion. I know Jose doesn't necessarily share this opinion. And actually, it's kind of been updated a little bit since we talked about it. Initially, I told Jose I thought that the Ravens are going to run Houston off the field, and I expect them to be up by 20 at halftime. But then Houston signed Damiere Byrd. And now I think it's going down to the wire. No, but I think this should be a very, very big win for Baltimore. I don't think that Houston is ready to step into the upper echelon of the league, and that's where Baltimore is. That's where Kansas City is, Buffalo, San Francisco, those kind of teams. I don't think that they're ready to compete on that level. They've had a fantastic season. CJ Stroud has been amazing. D'Amico Ryans, I guess he's going to win Coach of the Year because the other dude fired half of his staff. They're phenomenal, but I don't think that they're ready to compete on the level that Baltimore is playing at right now.
All right, Yolanda, what are your thoughts? I'm going to bring up Hendo. Shout out to Hendo from the Roll Pod. Thanks for coming through, my friend.
What's going on? What's up, Hendo?
Hi, Hendo. Hello. My thoughts, I agree somewhat. I agree in part with Brodny, and I disagree. I think that in the terms of them not being ready to match up with the Ravens, I do. I agree. I think this is a young team, and there's always something to be said about experience. Lamar has that loss in the postseason fresh on his mind. He remembers it. It's going to fuel him. It's going to propel him. And I don't know that CJ Stroud and company are ready for that level of competition just yet. I certainly believe that the score, and I know we'll get into score predictions later, I don't think it's going to come down to the wire. At least I'm hoping it doesn't, because I certainly would like a somewhat, if there is a such thing, stress-free post-game. I don't even know. I think that's an oxymoron. Postseason game, I think, postseason game, I don't know if there is such thing as a stress-free, but I would like one to be as close to that as possible. I don't believe that the Ravens are going to run away with the game. I've seen score predictions, 45-3, and I'm just like, I don't see that, but fairly confident that the Ravens are going to be able to edge out the.
Hendo. Jose is muted, so we'll just go to you.
My bad. Hendo, no, I haven't seen you since last week. I didn't get a chance to tell you happy birthday.
Thank you.
I missed your birthday stream. I was running around the last minute. You know, your birthday was like, I think Thursday, right? Thursday. Yeah. And I headed out of town on Friday, so I had to do a lot of running around the last minute beforehand. So I couldn't join the stream. Then me and OTR and Mike were out of town. We went to New Orleans. Okay. Had a lot of fun. Came back. We just beat the that snowstorm that shut down every flight known to man. Okay. So yes, happy birthday, Hendo. So
Appreciate
what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this game? Is it going to be a blowout like B says, or is it going to be a little bit closer like myself and Yolanda think it's going to be?
It's kind of hard to say. Now, I know Yolanda said that, that the playoff loss is fresh in Lamar's mind. It's not that fresh. It was in 2020. I'm sorry, 2021.
Yeah, technically.
2021. Technically 2021. But I think that what we've shown recently, what we do to division winners, I think that is going to be the key. Every division winner that's come into Baltimore, or the division winner that we played this season, we've blown them out. I know there is something to ignorance and youth, and the Texans really have nothing to lose. So they're kind of, the pressure's on us. The pressure's on us, especially with Lamar scheduled to win his second MVP, and everyone harping on his playoff record, so to speak. I think that he lets loose. Lamar looked loose yesterday. I don't know if you saw the press conference, but Lamar was really, really confident. Like, he's really confident in what they're about to do. And being that we have the number one scoring defense, the top sack team, the team that has the best third down conversion rate against, I think we got this. I think without Tank Dell and the Texans actually having a running game that they can really lean upon, they don't have a chance. I mean, they have a chance because it's the playoffs, but I just think that it's going to be a blowout.
All right. Yeah. Look, Lamar seemed very confident, and this isn't like a cocky type of confidence. This is more of a, look, I know what we're about, like he knows that offense inside and out. Like, obviously he's been more confident in the offense, and it shows, right? The team as a whole is just a completely different vibe. But I'll tell you whose words I felt more than Lamar's. That's Roquan Smith. Roquan, he said he wants them at their best, and I believe that 100%. He's the type of player that wants to break your will.
Yep.
Yes.
And I love that.
And he wants to impose his.
Yes. I love that. And he says it with a smile. So just so calm, he's just like, no, I don't want anybody hurt. I want them locked in, and I want them at their best, so we can show them it's not enough, because that's what I want from this team. I don't want us to float under the radar. I want us to be the absolute best. I want everybody to know it, and I want them to know that there's not a darn thing you can do about it.
Right.
Okay. You can't do anything about it. We're just a better team. That's the type of team that I want here. Okay. But we had a couple weeks off.
Right.
All right. The only concern I have is, who's coaching the team? John Harbaugh. Will he be ready that first half? Will he have the team ready? I think we'll come out a little sluggish in the first half.
Okay.
A little sluggish. It'll be a little bit close, but then we'll run away with it in the second half, because I think we are just a flat out better team. But look, the Texans, man, shout out to them, man. I love what they're doing over there.
Yeah.
I love it, and they're gonna compete. So they'll fight. They just won't be good enough, but we will win the game.
I agree with what you're saying. And the thing for me, it isn't even Lamar's cockiness or his resolve or his experience. I think, to me, what's kind of heightened things up is the Ravens have been an afterthought, because they didn't play in week 18. We've had the bye week off. So it's pretty much, let's look at these other teams and see what they're doing. So a lot of publications, they don't have the Ravens as the favorite to win the Super Bowl anymore. And more importantly, all of these people are out here screaming about Jordan Love's got a playoff win. CJ Stroud has got as many playoff wins as Lamar. And I think that his teammates are going to take that personal. So for me, I think it's the team around Lamar that's going to want to impose their will upon the Texans. And I think they want to get this win for Lamar to shut everybody up.
Agreed. And that's what I was going to say, something very similar to that. In response to your comment, Jose, that you believe that offense is going to come out somewhat sluggish at first, then if that be the case, if that be true, then I really need to see this defense say to Lamar, without saying it, but demonstrating it in action, I need to see, Lamar, we've got your back.
Yes.
While you guys have to figure it out for the first 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes in the game, the first portion of the first quarter, first couple of drives, we will handle it. We'll take over from here. And then I need to see the defense step up. And CJ Stroud is very good in ball, protecting the ball. He doesn't have a lot of turnovers. I believe it was 5 for the entire season. Very low turnovers. But I need to see them pressuring him, frustrate him, confuse him. Like I said before, Roquan and company need to impose their will 100% to say, like he's been saying, tell security, take away the keys, lock the door. We'll let you know when they can leave.
That's right. That's right. Read a couple comments here. We got over 100 people in here. Salute to you guys. Hit that like button. If you are new here and you haven't done it already, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to reach 2,000 subscribers. All right. So that'd be greatly appreciated. Appreciate our guy, Eric L, over on Facebook showing us love. Eric L is one of our biggest supporters, man. We really appreciate everything that you've done for the show and continue to do for the show. So thank you very much. Living legend, what's going on? So Roquan loves to say at the end of the day a lot.
That's the end of the day is what matters, Living.
That's right.
Is it?
When it's all said and done, it's
if you listen to him yesterday, he literally said, at the end of the day, it's the end of the day. And I was like,
he did.
Okay. Oh, word? Okay. I didn't know that, but okay.
He's nervous. I'm going to blame it on nerves. And I know that he's been in front of the camera for several years. Some people still, I don't care how many times they appear on camera. Like some people just never get over it. You can do it for 5 years, 10 years. It doesn't matter. Some people still get nervous when speaking in front of others. So I'm gonna.
I can attest to that because we all have our little quirks, right? But there are things I watch all of our videos because I have to edit them, and there are little things I'm just like I gotta cut that out. I gotta stop doing that. And I watch videos on how to practice doing all that stuff. But
just to try to improve.
Right. B. James
as long as
says,
he takes care of business on the field on Saturday, he can say at the end of the day 1,000,000 times, and I'll be okay.
Say it to them too. Like get under the skin. It's at the end of the day. Right. BJ, what's going on? Says I think the Texas defense may be better than the Lions.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's okay.
But it's not better than the Niners. And look what we did to them.
Right.
Yeah.
In their territory.
Yeah.
In San Francisco.
D. Weezy says breaking news: when the sun goes down, it's the end of the day. Yeah. Everybody, the thing is, everybody has those teams that, that match up well against them or whatever. I just don't think the Texans are there yet, right? Mm-hmm. They play well. They obviously have a excellent young quarterback, but they're just not. They're not there yet. I just don't believe that. Right? Anything can happen in the sport, but I just don't think there's much that they can do for the Ravens. A rookie head coach, a rookie quarterback against who should be soon to be league MVP, 2-time league MVP, and a seasoned head coach. Okay, even just despite all criticisms I have of Harbaugh, he is a good coach. He knows how to handle himself against coaches, young coaches like this who don't have all that situational experience. I think he can navigate his way through that. Okay. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the only team that I'm worried about is the Kansas City Chiefs.
The Bills, I'm adding them to the list right now because if they start to turn the switch on.
The Bills are good. And you guys know I like Josh Allen. But them coming to Baltimore, I don't worry about that. Right. I worry about this Kansas City Chiefs team who hasn't looked great this year. They haven't looked spectacular, But if we see them in the AFC Championship, this will be like 6 in a row. Right?
Yeah.
This will be a team that, despite how they looked all year, will be one game away to go from going back to the Super Bowl. And they have one of the greatest quarterbacks in the universe on that team.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what worries me. And they got Andy Reid over there.
True.
So, and I still think we could beat them, obviously. I think we're a better team. But that's the team that I'd be like, man, we better be locked in for that.
Yeah, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about the Texans, because one thing that's being overlooked is Mike McDonald was the defensive coordinator at Michigan when Stroud was at Ohio State. So he's seen him prior to this year. He's had games against him, so he knows kind of his tendencies and what to do. So he kind of shut him down in the first game. He can do it again, and I think that we're kind of fully healthy minus Marlon Humphrey. You know, fruit punch is kind of dry. Other than that, we got this.
What's going on, Marlon Humphrey?
His calf. He's still suffering from that calf injury.
Okay. I mean, look, you're hurt, I guess. You know.
Yeah. I'm still a little bit nervous about the game.
It's the playoffs. You can't be 100% confident. Yeah,
you can't.
It's a playoff game, and at the end of the goodness, there goes Roquan. But here we go. When it's all said and done, you have one game to win on Saturday. There's not a second chance after this.
Yeah. So I did want to address a couple of things, because I see the comments on Twitter. I see, the comments people leave, and they say, hey, they're disrespecting us over there. Right. Shout out to Black Daniels. I saw a tweet from Black Daniels. He did a little thread talking about some of the Texans podcasts that he heard and how they were disrespecting Lamar Jackson. And, that's, you're going to get that. You're going to get that from any podcast that you listen to, the opposing team, because that's fear, right? Lamar Jackson is a type of player the league has, you haven't seen him before. You've seen you've seen variations of him. You've seen Michael Vick, you've seen Cam Newton and things like that. They're not Lamar Jackson, right? He's his own unique player. And what you thought was the answer to stopping him is not the answer, right? When you think, oh, well, all you have to do is QB contain, right? Keep him in the pocket. All the things, all those tropes that they tell, they tell you about black quarterbacks isn't working. And he's standing in the pocket, and you're letting him stand in the pocket sometimes because you're playing QB contain, and he's dicing your team up, and you're just like, what's going on? And then when he decides to take off, he's making everybody look silly. And yeah, that picture in your mind is what you don't want to see. So yeah, as a fan of the other team, you're gonna say, well, he's not that good. Oh, well, he's a run read guy. All we have to do is this. All we have to do is QB contain him, keep him in the pocket, blitz him. All the things that you have to do to any quarterback, right? Let's see if you can do it. So don't get too worked up about what they're saying, man. That's them trying to pump themselves up and make them believe that their team has a chance. They don't really.
They don't.
And I chance, but I don't know how great the chance is.
Yeah.
When we're stacked up against them, I don't know. I think, like you said, Jose, having Lamar as that X factor, who you really don't know how to contain. You don't know how to. I think the most that teams can do is try to maybe throw him off his game, so to speak, or rattle him. But Lamar is very poised this year, and that's what I've seen an improvement. When I guess in years past, when I would see that he gets frustrated, he gets frustrated easily. I'm not seeing that as much this year, and especially early on when the offense was struggling, he maintained his composure, and so I'm hoping that will continue.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's read a couple more comments here. Michael Osborne says Lamar actually has a team with him now. This is probably is this the best team they've put around him?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
By far, and that's kind of sad.
Yeah, I think you're right. You're right. What else we got here? Ravens can just can't turn the ball over and just play Ravens football. That's going to be for any team playing in the playoffs. The teams that are here now, are good teams. It's who's going to play mistake-free football. So who's going to be the most disciplined? Attitude Pop, what's going on? Says it's disgusting. How? What were you saying, B?
Anything else, Hendo?
Oh,
I said, whoa.
Oh.
I'm used to Attitude Pop's paragraphs.
Discussing how Lamar has been treated. I gotta read it now because he'll put it in there over and over again to read it. All right. Discussing how you've been treated all year. Also, this Ravens team as a whole. There are people preying on the downfall. Listen, Attitude Pop, man. This is sports. All right. Do you pray for the success of your opponents? Of course not. I want the Texans to lose. I want CJ Stroud to have a bad day. I like CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
I like DeMeco Ryans.
Yeah.
I wish them all the success, but not this weekend. I wish Jordan Love all the success, but only until we have to face them. Yes, I pray for everybody's downfall that has to play us. That's how sports goes. Don't take it personal. Speaking of don't take it personal, over on patreon.com/LBHT Show, we have our overtime show. So if you like what we're doing right now, after this show, for patrons only, we're going to be doing a overtime show where we get to talk about things that we don't get to on the main show. And today's topic, did I upload it? I didn't upload it. Today's topic the theme is called Don't Take It Personal. All right. Fans' emotions, tied to their teams, basically. Okay. And this is based off of the Eagles fan that dumped the popcorn on Coach Nick Sirianni for losing the game. Okay. You're a grown up.
And he didn't lose you the game. The fraud Jalen Hurts did.
First of all, B, we had this conversation. Philadelphia's offense hasn't changed since last year. They do know the offense. Nick Sirianni is an offensive coach, and teams figured him out, and he's made no adjustments. This man put Matt Patricia in charge of his defense. Matt Patricia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He put Jalen Hurts in charge of his offense. That's why they scored 9 points. Sorry. That's 3 fewer points than the Ravens were averaging with Greg Roman as their offensive coordinator.
Ooh.
Ouch.
You know why?
Painful memory.
Because Jalen Hurts is a fraud.
He's not a fraud, B.
Jalen Hurts is not a fraud.
Jalen Hurts is
the hater.
Jalen Hurts was the best person in the Super Bowl last year, unfortunately.
Hey, you know what? It's this year, isn't it?
So you saying you can fall off? So you saying we judge from year to year?
Who was the best player in the Super Bowl between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New England Patriots? Was it Nick Foles? Because I ain't see him after that, and I ain't see him before that. Okay,
It was Nick Foles.
Who was the best player in the Super Bowl between the Carolina Panthers and the Denver Broncos? I can't even remember dude's name. No, it was the defensive end who they drafted in the second round.
Oh, the 3 sacks.
The 3 sacks, the fumble recovery, the interception. I mean, he was well on his way to win the Super Bowl MVP if Ted Ginn and Jericho Cotchery could catch. But you know what? He wasn't that guy any other week.
But Jalen Hurts was the guy all last season, though.
Oh yeah, what was he the year before? Was he the guy or was he a fraud?
He built up. He's an all pro. He was an all pro last year. Pro bowler.
Listen. And I gave him all that credit last year because I like you. I believe that's what happened. And then this year happened. And I'm like, no, you just got lucky and you just went back to what you were.
And I only say this because it's something with you in Philadelphia quarterbacks. I don't
have any problem with Philadelphia quarterbacks. Okay. Randall Cunningham is one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time.
Well, I'm in
okay? Donovan McNabb is one of my favorite quarterbacks. I just don't like frauds like Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts.
I'm not ready to call Jalen a fraud just yet.
I'm
holding out just a little bit of hope. Let me see what happens next season.
Dak Prescott's a fraud.
Dak Prescott is a massive fraud.
Wow.
I can't really argue with you there.
I don't think he's a fraud.
Fraud.
He choked in the playoffs right now. Sometimes people choke. That's just how it is until they get over that.
And until he gets over it, we're gonna call him a fraud.
Wow.
Until he proves otherwise. Sometimes players suck and then they turn and they develop and they become better. We don't say that they're good when they suck. We say they suck, and then when they get better, we say, okay, now they're better.
Right. Are you talking to me,
now,
Travis?
He's a fraud.
Is Travis talking to me?
I don't know. Who's Travis?
I don't know the comments right there.
Do you got it?
Yeah, I get it.
All right.
Can we all get a link for that hoodie, please? Better put your link in there, Hendo.
I don't know if he's talking to me because I put
He
a
is
link.
talking to you.
I put a link in there.
He's not Travis.
I guess he
said he put a link in there, Travis.
Okay, there's the link.
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
Appreciate you, Travis.
All right. All right.
You were such a big Jamal Laxon fan.
That's right.
I'm with you, Rocky. Saturday cannot get here fast enough.
It can.
It's just like today is Wednesday, or tonight's Wednesday.
All right, there's the link. There's a link for those that are looking for it. I'm trying to play around with my camera here. All right, so I think we all agree the Ravens are going to win this, and it's just a matter of who they're going to play in the AFC Championship game. This will be Lamar's first AFC Championship game. I don't want to, get too far ahead of ourselves, but
you got to speak it into the air. You got to speak it into the atmosphere.
Yes, but look, people kind of overplay or what's the word I'm looking for? Over exaggerate Lamar's failures in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They'll say, Lamar's only won one playoff game. He's 1-3 or whatever. But Lamar has been out of the first round 3 times now. Okay. Yeah. Now he's lost the first, in the second round, but they don't give him credit for making his team good enough to get that first round bye.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So if you look at it, he's been pretty successful in the playoffs. Now we just got to get him over that hump. And again, that's not all on Lamar. I put a lot of that on John Harbaugh. Okay. Because if they end up winning the Super Bowl, a lot of y'all going to give John Harbaugh his props. You're going to give him a lot of credit. You're going to give EDC a lot of credit. You're going to say, oh, they're great. They're this. Because if I say, yeah, fire them. Shout out to Static View for subscribing. Appreciate that. Appreciate you. If I say get rid of them after winning the Super Bowl, you can be like, can't do that. They just won a Super Bowl. Right? Now, if you don't get it done, they got to shoulder that blame too. All right. Okay. Do we want to fire up the court of public opinion? I'm still trying to fix my camera here, but the court of, ladies and gentlemen, 112 people in here. Hit that like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. If you don't know, this is not a Ravens show. This is a Ravens, Panthers, and all things sports show. Okay. We like to talk about the Big Red says guilty already. Calm down.
Guilty.
Calm down.
Because he knows.
We like to discuss juicy topics, okay? Things that people have strong opinions on when we can find those stories, and we bring it to the court of public opinion. The only court that matters, some would say. Okay? And we have a big case here. We have 2 big cases. Okay. One, we're trying to take down big media, big corporate media. Okay. We're going to talk about them in a minute. And the second one, this one hits close to home.
Sitting that one out.
Someone on this panel is being brought up on trial. We're going to have to discuss that. All right. But B, are you ready to fire this up?
Yeah, I think we're ready.
Okay,
ready.
You wanna participate in this? Okay, you guys in the chat are the jury, and we're gonna go ahead and let's get this started.
Okay, and apparently Jose left.
He went to go put on his judge's. He went to go put on judge's attire.
Did not see that coming. That's our first big twist of the court of public opinion. But we were going to start off, I guess, with the. Well, maybe we should start off with Yolanda. They wanted to take part in this People versus ESPN. So if you'll give. Oh, and he's back. I think. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So we'll start off with the People versus ESPN, and just what is. It's not like it's not the craziest story ever, but it's just it's crazy because it went on for so long and it's so stupid. And they just got away with it for so long. So I don't know if you all heard, but ESPN has been committing fraud with these sports Emmys basically since
forever.
For about 30 years, they said. About 30 years. What they were doing is that they were submitting fake names in categories, winning the awards, and then giving the awards to their on-air talent to kind of pump up their resume and their ego and things like that. So, for example, there would be categories that were just for the shows and the producers of the shows and things like that, and the on-air talent not eligible for those categories. So instead of Kirk Herbstreit, they submitted Kirk Henry. Instead of Lee Corso, they submitted, I believe it was Lee Clark. Well, so they would use the same initials.
Right. Okay, I have some clips here. Okay, I brought some evidence here. All right. So I submit the first piece of evidence. Let's take this banner down so we can see it. Okay, you go ahead, B. This is the title. This is from Katie Strang from The Athletic. They broke this story. Okay, ESPN used fake names to secure Emmys for College Game Day stars because this whole thing centered. That was a sting operation. It was they had a sting operation on College Game Day. So in March 2023, this is very recent. Okay, not even a year ago, Shelley Smith worked 26 years as an on-air reporter for ESPN, received a call from Stephanie Drewley, then the network's head of studio and event production. Drewley said she wanted to talk about something serious that needed to stay between the two of them, Smith recalled. She then told Smith that Smith needed to return 2 Sports Emmy statuettes that she had been given more than a decade earlier. Think about that. You get a phone call. Hey, Hendo, I need to talk to you. This is just between you and me.
Right.
You remember those? Those 2 championship belts that you won in our league?
Yeah, I got them right on the mantle.
Yeah,
some of the best times of my life.
Yeah, I'm gonna need.
I'm sorry. You supposed to be me.
Yeah, I'm gonna need those back, dog.
They were so they would submit the fake names. Those people would win. ESPN would accept the award on their behalf, and then they would have the statues re-engraved with the names of the honored Kirk, Linda Cohn, Lee Corso, and whatnot. So like Linda Cohn, for example, was out there. She posted on Instagram a picture of her 4 sports Emmys and how grateful she was, and have won all of them and everything. Turns out she's won 1, and she had to return the other 3 because ESPN again was lying to everyone about about the people they were nominating for these awards. So I guess what this boils down to is because they have admitted that they did this. Obviously, I mean, once you get caught, what are you gonna say? Yeah. What are you gonna say? So I guess what it boils down to is it okay for them to have done this and tried to bolster the resume of their on-air talent and kind of make them kind of look better and more successful, I guess, than they actually were. I feel like I'm just reading the facial expressions. I don't think Yolanda and Hendo are going to go with this is okay. So I'll take that. I'll take that side of it. I'll say, you know what? And normally, what's everyone's experience at work? You go to work and you get away with whatever you can get away with because your job don't care about you and your job going to screw you the second they have it. The second it becomes convenient for them.
Right.
So I applaud ESPN for looking out.
I want to read some of these these fake names. Okay. among the names found were Kirk Henry. Now, who do you think Kirk Henry was?
Kirk Herbstreit.
Yeah, I said that one.
Okay. Lee Clark.
Lee Corso.
Lee Corso.
Oh, man, I'm just getting them all.
You said all these names, B?
I said those two.
He said those two.
Okay. What about, you're not going to get this one? Dirk Howard. Disappointed. Who's Dirk Howard, ladies and gentlemen? In the chat, who's Dirk Howard?
Dirk Howard.
Yeah, it's not even that far off.
It's not.
Really?
D. Howard. Who's on College Game Day with them?
Oh, Desmond Howard.
Desmond Howard.
They didn't
there you
even
go.
change man's last name.
Really?
Now this one is more. This one's a little bit more covered up. Tim Richard for Tom Rinaldi. And this is just pathetic. Steve Ponder for Sam Ponder.
They changed it all up for her.
They did. Yes, you guys got it in the chat. You got it, Desmond Howard. Yep. They didn't even try to hide this.
Yeah. But again, I'll take the that, you know what? I like to see that from the organization. Okay, it's not legal, obviously. You know, it's not fair. They did screw other people out of those awards, and whatever to them. All right, they were taking care of their people. Okay, you know what they said? They said, you know what, College Game Day, that's the best pregame show on television, period, regardless of sport, right? You know, they are, the champagne and everyone else is Prosecco, okay? And those people, they deserve the recognition. They deserve those sports Emmys, right? Kirk Herbstreit, I'm not a fan personally, but a lot of people love Kirk Herbstreit. I'm a huge fan of Lee Corso. Love Desmond Howard. They do fantastic work. And for the it's NATAS. I don't know. I can't remember what it stands for. But the people who run the sports Emmys to turn around and be like, oh no, they're not eligible.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? Feels like oppression to me. Okay, and I'll say that ESPN, freedom fighters right now. All right.
All right. So Killer Cam wants to know what happened. All right. Good question, Killer Cam. Here's what happened. The fraud was discovered by NATAS. I forget the acronym. You guys can look it up. Which prompted an investigation by the organization and later by ESPN. Those probes resulted in sanctions beyond the return of the trophies. So they're going to get back those trophies. All right. Mm-hmm. Those are going to give back. Okay. While it is not known who orchestrated the scheme, Craig Lazarus, vice president and executive producer of original content and features, and Lee Fitting, that's a name, a senior vice president of production who oversaw College Game Day and other properties, were among the ESPN employees. NATAS ruled ineligible from future participation in the Emmys. So basically, the people that they could blame for it got banned from the Emmys, so they can never win.
And I would also like to submit, if you can't even tell me who did this, I ain't sending you nothing back. Cam, no, there was no money laundering. It has nothing to do with anything like that. They stole some awards.
I think this is more serious. I think it's more serious than this. I think ESPN should just be banned. Yeah. It is that. I mean, I would say not a lifetime ban, but you did it for 30 years. I think this should just be banned because here's why.
I want to object a second because I feel like that is just overly harsh from the counselor over here to a ban.
Yeah, a lifetime. It should be a lifetime.
Hey, they sent him back.
Think about
should USC be banned from winning Heismans? No.
Wait,
they sent it back. It's fine.
So you took my point, B. So my question to you, sir, is there a hierarchy when it comes to sports? Because I can participate in college athletics, and my team can win the national championship because this young man didn't go to class. They're taking my championship back because of him. They're taking the banners down. They're doing all of these things because this one guy out of 53 decided he wanted to do something illegal. Now, your whole organization for 30 years, it wasn't a season or two. It wasn't a semester. It was for 30 years. You were defrauding the achievements of those that actually did work, that actually went out there day in and day out, did their research, put in those hours.
You know what this is equivalent to, right? When the Russians made all their athletes get on a steroid regimen. That's what this is.
It's cheating.
I mean, look, let's
like the people that the people
right?
that were involved didn't even have any clue. They're just like, congratulations, what's this for? It's yours. Just take it.
I will not let that stand. All right. Kirk and Lee and Desmond, they read that teleprompter. All right. There wasn't any unnatural enhancement going on there. They did the work, Hendo. They were out there every week. They were on the road.
Unfortunately, they didn't do the work for the categories that they won.
They didn't cheat.
So what about the other 53 people on that team roster that didn't cheat and they took away their championship?
I mean,
but this is seriously.
Sometimes you get caught up in the crossfire. But I'm the one saying that the organization doesn't get banned. Jose is saying ban them. I'm saying
they should be banned.
I'm saying no, sir.
You got away with something for 30 years. You did not learn a lesson. ESPN.
Who?
ESPN. So you listen. You can't.
Will you back up? Show them that line where it says they can't identify who even.
No, they don't. No, they don't want to identify. It's a totally different thing. You tell them. I'm sure they know who.
Well, no, they identified. They said it's not known. However, Craig Lazarus, vice president and executive producer of original content and features, and Lee Fitting, is senior vice president of production who oversaw College Game Day and other properties, were among the ESPN employees. So. They're saying
it just said that's who they ruled ineligible.
It
says very clearly they could not identify who orchestrated it.
Where did they get those names from?
Nobody, no crime.
ESPN said, "Look, I ain't name no names. I don't know who did it.
No crime.
I don't know who did it, but
these are the people that you can ban going further."
Yeah.
No.
Shout out to Rachel Lopez for subscribing to the Road
You got a couple of you got a couple of scapegoats tossed your way, so I have it. Yeah, you don't know who did anything.
But no, seriously. 30 years, you're stealing awards. First of all, just from the organization within itself, these awards are supposed to go to other workers within your organization that don't get the money that the on-air talent gets. In fact, they don't make any money at all, right? So working to get those awards, that helps stack their resume to help them, move up in the company, go somewhere else and make more money. Like they need those things that are basically trinkets to those on-air talent. They don't even know what they're getting an award for. They're just getting handed to them like, oh, thanks, right? To stroke their ego.
I thought I was ineligible.
I'm sorry.
But hold on.
Do I need to pull up Linda Cohn's Instagram post about how grateful she was and how much they mean to her? Trinkets?
Yeah.
I am offended. I am offended by the language and the tone that's being put on display by the prosecutors over here.
They meant so much to her, she didn't even know what they were for.
Right.
It says right on it what it's for. It says right on it.
I didn't know I was nominated
for College Game Day.
For awesomeness. I got an award for awesomeness. It says right here.
This one here says, I am the bestest.
That one is for, she had the whitest shoes. All right, it doesn't matter what it's for.
But those workers, those producers, the people that work behind the cameras, that are working with these talent, a lot of these on-air talent are jerks on top of it, right? They're stealing those awards. And also for the other networks that have workers like that just don't get that, they're out of it, right?
No, and I feel for them. And what I would say to them is, no, I absolutely do. And to my point at the beginning, what I would say to them is, why don't you go to HR and ask them why they ain't doing for you like ESPN doing for them? Okay?
The bigger question is, how come I don't hear Fox Sports or CBS Sports, if they're still around, how come I don't hear these other networks reporting on this? Because I would definitely call them out on all this. We're gonna wrap up here. We're gonna, Yolanda's gonna give her closing arguments because she has to. I know she's over there preparing for her trial.
Yeah,
Yolanda ain't worried about this.
I want you guys to put in the chat.
Trying to stay out of jail.
We still have 100 people in here in the chat box. Guilty or not guilty? ESPN. Guilty or not guilty? And what should be the sentence? Because we know that they're guilty. All right, I'm swaying your opinion a little bit.
Wow, Your Honor, no, not going to chime in at all.
30 is cheating, 30 is banned.
Wow.
30. I mean, obviously they show no remorse.
Yeah, there should be some type of punishment. I feel
guilty. They sent the trophies back.
Because they
had
to.
No, what do you mean they had to? What was
I'm
Nat
guilty,
asking to do?
I'm guilty. You're guilty, sir.
Hendo, what was Nat asking to do? They're just like the Heisman people. They can't do anything. They can't make you give the trophy back. They have no authority. It's a trophy.
They can get it back. I mean, they can.
How can I hire you as my lawyer? You get an Emmy. You get an Emmy. You get an Emmy. Yeah.
That's all it was.
They didn't have to get nothing back.
But this does raise another question.
That's right.
They
didn't. But you know.
How do you submit yourself for a trophy? Like how can we submit this show for an Emmy? It seems pretty easy, right?
Oh, well, I mean, it is pretty easy if you write a check. That's how you get submitted for a lot.
Is that what it is?
Award shows, yeah. You pay and then you enter in your show or whatever. But I mean, to Derek's point, Russia, all those athletes did get to compete in the Olympics. They weren't banned.
They were banned.
No, they were not. They banned the Russian flag.
No,
which means absolutely nothing.
No, the athletes were banned for.
No. I mean, the ones who got caught cheating, who tested positive or whatever, they got their punishment. But Russia was not banned from the Olympics. They were just not allowed to carry their flag, and they were not allowed to refer to them as Russia. But all of the athletes got to go and compete in the Olympics.
All right, a fitting punishment then. Yes. All right, Linda Cole can have her award, but can I have her name? Can I have ESPN on it?
Public
can I say what she does?
Just blank.
There you go.
We should do a video on that because what the Russians did. I mean, sheesh, that was an operation.
Yeah, and they were still not first. Breaking news: Mike McCarthy is being retained as the Dallas Cowboys head coach.
Yes.
Being retained?
Yes.
Wow, he's returning.
I didn't think his job was in jeopardy.
I didn't think so either, but everybody else might be getting fired.
It's excellent news because they're going to lose in the first round again next year.
All right, so a lot of guilties in here. Like I said, 30 years. 30 years, and nobody knew. Nobody said. Not one executive said, what? How they getting all these awards? Like, what category is that?
No, you know who's guilty? Nadas is guilty because how you go 30 years without saying who is Lee Clark? How come I've never seen a picture of Lee Clark? They just instituted in 2022.
Dirk, are we paying this guy?
Any kind of verification of the names that are submitted. They weren't doing any checking.
No,
they are the ones who are guilty.
No, that's real because they always had their round of cuts, right? Mm-hmm. They had their rounds of cuts, and they're like, all right, let's get rid of Dirk Howard. All right, let's get rid of Tim. Who are these guys? Are we? Let's cross reference them with payroll, and then they go to payroll like, wait, these guys aren't real. They have to be real. They won awards,
right?
All right. Wait a minute. Cover up that eye. That's Tom Rinaldi.
If you're running an award ceremony and you ask for submissions, you're not going to do any checking or who was submitted at all. How'd you determine who won?
That's what I'm saying. How hard is it? Like if we submit some names and just put ESPN down and just change the address to our address, can we get an award?
Yes, apparently. Well, I mean, not anymore. But
a
couple of years ago, yes.
Also, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Hendo.
I was just gonna say, why don't we create our own award show?
Done. Say less. We'll talk about this.
Right.
No. Because this is open and shut. There's another person that's guilty by association. Actually, no, not guilty by association. They're the mastermind of this whole thing. And I'm not saying who. They're the mastermind of who exposed it, but they're guilty. That's Pat McAfee, ladies and gentlemen. Pat McAfee. I mean, you guys aren't putting two and two together. All right. Pat McAfee is at war with one of the execs. He claims that exec is trying to sabotage him by leaking fake information. That happened a week ago. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then Jimmy Kimmel threatens to sue his best friend through payments, Aaron Rodgers. Okay. And now Aaron Rodgers is banned from the show. Okay. Now all of a sudden, this news just pops up. Hey, I don't know where it came from.
I would
30
argue
years
that,
of getting away with it. Now all of a sudden,
I would argue that Norby has outflanked Pat McAfee because, as you said, there's no coverage of this anywhere. Like, nobody's talking about this. Nobody even knows this happened. Pat McAfee thought he had a secret weapon, and Norby up in his office laughing.
Look. Neither one of them are affected. This is equivalent of two wealthy people just taking the glove off and slapping each other across the face real quick. Right. One of those. I challenge you to a duel, sir. Right, one of those type of things. Nothing is going to come of either one of them. But it's just a way of saying, oh, you going to do this to me? Look what I can do to you. Mm-hmm. Of course, because of course Pat McAfee is privy to this type of information.
I think it's pretty clear. I'm just scanning the chat. I think it's pretty clear that I have won the hearts and minds, and they are not guilty. And we are going to go ahead and move on.
Not even close.
That's what I'm saying here. We are going to go ahead and move on. I hope Yolanda took that time to prepare, because Yolanda B is now going to be on trial. And I'm gonna sit this one out. I'm gonna let Hendo take the lead, since Hendo decided he wanted to prosecute here. You know what? Godspeed, Yolanda.
Thank you.
Today. I consider myself the luckiest man alive. No, so here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. Yolanda B is on trial.
I'm sorry. One second. You got to be on bottom if you're on trial.
I'm sorry. Yolanda B is on trial because she's a woman of faith. She's a woman of keeping her word, as she says. But we have a couple of instances where she made bets. She made promises that if certain things happen, certain stipulations, she was going to start, one, a YouTube channel, and two, a YouTube channel with Brandon Bazell. As much as it pains me, this is going to be a very short case, because if I can approach the bench, Your Honor.
You cannot.
We have you're on trial. What is your problem?
Good Lord. Muted.
Mute her. Your Honor, there has been a plea agreement struck. Okay. Unfortunately.
Let's hear it.
And what we've come to is, as she announced on Monday evening, she is starting a YouTube channel. She's already announced it. That's a plea agreement, so there will be no trial. But I just want everyone to know that she's guilty, because we
rejected. Proceed, sir.
It's an open and shut case. Listen, we have a mountain of evidence. We have videos. We have cousin Davon, with whom on Monday, while we were after the stream, she admitted, yeah, I lied. I said I was going to do it. Listen, don't maybe bring Davon in here. Come on, living legend. She said it around everybody. If you go to Living Big with Big Red, you go to any of his streams over the last few months, she's been in there talking about, yeah, I said it. And what?
Looking like right now, she can't even look at the camera.
Right. Looking like Shannon Shaw back in the playoffs. Yeah, we said it. We said it, so what? What you gonna do? Like, that's how she was in the streams. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's not how she acts. But she felt Brody. Her chest was out like, yo, I'm not sticking to my word. So, since she's starting a channel, and she does have in the back of her mind the channel that she's doing with Brandon Bazell, even though it's come along slowly, I accept the terms of this plea agreement.
I already told you that was rejected. The court don't accept that. I said proceed.
How can you not?
You are muted, Yolanda.
How can you not accept the deal of what the whole thing
is
about?
I have to accept it.
I accept.
You can't. It don't matter if you accept. You going back on mute.
But she does have the opportunity to tell her side of the story.
Go ahead,
now, Yolanda. Now, did I say anything wrong? Did I say anything that was not true?
Yes, you did.
And what was that?
Wow, that's who you didn't deal with, calling you a liar out in public.
Exactly.
It's okay. This goes to character.
Oh,
Continue.
You said a few things that were inaccurate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't make deals. I did not make shady deals.
You don't make deals, Mr. J.
Can I?
You're in the. Mr. J. You're in the chat.
I do apologize, Yolanda. Please proceed.
Thank you. I did not make shady deals, and I never gave a time certain as to when I was going to start a channel or when I was going to start a channel with Brandon Bozell.
Wait. This is about you starting a channel?
This is about Yolanda being a liar in general.
Not guilty.
Facts.
What? Thank
Not
you
guilty.
so much. Not guilty. And I will say this. I actually
Thank you, Coach. Decorum, please. Order.
I will say this. I told Brandon Bozell, I said, sure, let's talk about the Orlando Guardians in the XFL. Did you see how horrible the Orlando Guardians were last season? They were the pits. There's nothing to report.
So that's your excuse for not keeping your word?
No, I didn't say that.
You said that to Davon. You said, did you see how bad they were? I'm so glad they were that bad. Now I don't have to do this channel. You don't remember saying that in front of Davon? And I'm sure you made a deal with Mr. J. Like you and Mr. J had a bet.
I have a question because I missed some of this. Are we saying is she on trial because you're saying she hasn't made good on her agreement to start
is on trial?
Yes.
Was there a timetable for it?
No, Jose. But I did preface this off with saying we had a plea agreement, and Brodny said he didn't accept it.
Well, the reason. Okay, so I got you, Yolanda. I'm representing you. You know, I know for a fact that
we don't allow counsel to.
You can't.
Join
Unfortunately, you can't move.
Unfortunate indeed. Moving on.
Boom! I got the power too. I got the power.
Ready to rule. Yolanda B is guilty.
No.
Thank you.
Look,
thank you.
I can say this. Yolanda has clearly. It's a process to.
Wait,
to start
I'm sorry.
channel.
I do apologize. Your Other Honor. I don't mean to interrupt. I did have one more question for the defendant.
Okay, go ahead.
Have you watched episode 5 of Blue Eye Samurai yet?
So that's what I thought we were going to go on. I was ready to judge guilty on that.
Okay. I will say this. That weighs heavily in your favor, showing that you are reformed from your past ways.
All 38 minutes of episode 5, 38 minutes.
You should have said that. Now I got to look it up.
If
it's not 38 minutes, God.
Time out. I wanted to say, in Yolanda's defense, that she has been putting a lot of work on this show, including filling in for B when he was absent from the show a couple of weeks. All right. We have discussed her equipment. Okay. Better ways to improve her audio quality. She talked about, buying some new equipment for her setup. So all this is working towards her starting her channel. It's just a process. She wants to do it right. She doesn't want to go out there and just looking all crazy. Okay. She's a professional.
Yes.
She's a professional. She's been around a lot of professionals. So she has a certain standard that she wants to stand by before she starts. All right. But she will start. It is coming.
Right.
I would like to.
How long is episode 5?
I would like to enter into the evidence that episode 5, The Tale of the Ronin and the Bride, has a runtime of 46 minutes. Yolanda B is guilty.
I know it was 38 minutes and like 20.
Apparently,
we don't count the credit. Like the credits are.
The runtime is the runtime.
The runtime is the runtime. This goes to her sticking to her word.
I watched it.
Mm-hmm. You may have watched some of it. You didn't watch it in its entirety.
I watched all of it. I can tell you.
You ain't watched them 8 minutes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we got 9 people in here.
Shot.
Guilty or not? Is Yolanda B guilty or not guilty? All right.
That's right. Even behind me. Thumbs down.
And just Allo watched it. Remember, he didn't want to watch it at first, and then we talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
Why'd you watch it?
Hey, Yolanda, stop talking sweet to people and try to sway them in your way. Stop it.
Guilty.
Exactly.
Big Reg, you've been removed from the jury. You're already.
We're not.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Guilty.
That's right, Jay. She made promises. She made promises to Jay.
Thank you.
She had a bet with Jay, and she reneged.
Living legend says innocent. All right.
Come on.
Just
Come
tell.
on.
Come
Come
on. Just
on.
tell.
Thank you, guys.
Come on.
Thank you.
I'm disgusted by what I'm seeing here.
Tell them.
Disgusting.
There you go. Not guilty. All right. So I successfully defended Yolanda.
Yes, you did.
All
You
right.
didn't. You didn't.
Guilty.
They just like her. They just like her. That's all it is. It's no defense.
That's part of the defense. Okay, you gotta show up. You gotta present well in court.
You didn't
All right.
have to present anything.
There's
They
an
said she
art
was
to
innocent
this.
before
There's an
we
art to this.
started.
You don't know anything about this. Okay, you don't know anything about this. All right.
Judge Brodny, are we not going to step in? Thank you, Weezy.
Not guilty.
That's girl power. I'm not worried about that.
Guilty. Yolanda B is guilty. Now,
What does that even mean? That's not even a real word.
The real question, because it was obvious from the get-go that Yolanda was guilty. The real question that I wanted to ask the chat is, what is the sentence?
Okay, I have to watch episode 6 of Blue
No,
Eye
just finish the
Samurai.
series.
I was this close to canceling that Netflix subscription. Like,
Just watch
I mean,
it. You got to watch the series. That's your
No,
punishment.
no, no.
Why you over here trying to pan down your
you did
own
not put on
sentence?
a successful trial today, so
You just want to watch the rest of Blue Eye Samurai. That's not a punishment. That's a great.
No,
show.
actually, it is a punishment. I was watching the 38 minutes. I was like, it's still
It was
going.
46.
Yeah. And
Did you like episode 5?
I sort of kind of did, but I had questions. I did answer some questions, but like,
Okay.
why was her mom?
Thank you, Agent E.
You're guilty, Agent E. Go to bed. It's past your bedtime.
He's like 14 years old.
It is. It is.
Okay. We gonna wrap this up because
because we got other stuff to talk about.
but yeah,
We got
but
a lot
Buck
of time
has
to do it.
because Buck has gave us the 2-hour warning, okay, 2-hour stream warning. But I want to tell everybody, go over to patreon.com/LBHT Show because we have 2 other people on trial over there. One of them is tied into the theme of the show, okay? Just fans who just put too much emotion in their sports team, okay? And we're talking about this person right here. This person or people, because it wasn't just him. They're going to be on trial.
You're done, Nick. You're done, Nick. You're done. You're fucking done, Nick. No, you ain't leaving nowhere. Get your ass over here.
All right, that's that, and you know, security
tried to run.
Yeah, he didn't try to run. He walked, and security it seemed to be very gentle with him. I didn't like that. I want to see them take him down. All right, you don't know what was in that bucket of popcorn. Okay, you know how Philly fans get down,
But
throwing snowballs with batteries in them at Santa Claus.
But Big Reg has laid down what I think is a fair punishment.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
You have to give us a minimum of an hour-long stream with a breakdown on the series.
Hey, on your new channel.
On your new channel.
By the time my new channel,
Judgment for the judgment for the people. Yolanda will be recording and publishing an hour-long breakdown on Blue Eye Samurai on her new channel.
She's not guilty. The judgment already came through.
Yeah,
By the way, I just want you guys to know some of the things that me and B are working on behind the scenes. One of them is going to be in the future. You can do some live voting. There'll be a graphic on the screen, okay, and it'll show in real time. Guilty or not guilty. Okay, this is going to be a very interactive segment because you guys seem to like this a whole lot. All right. Yes. All right. So that's one of the people that's going to be on trial, or group of people, because you only saw the one person, but there was like 2 or 3 other people that were with him. Okay, and we need to take them all down. And fans like him. I'm sure there's a few of them in Dallas right now. Okay, we're going to discuss all of that in the Overtime Show, which you can find on our Patreon at patreon.com/LBHT Show for as little as $5 a month. You can help support this show, and you get a lot of cool benefits like the Overtime Show. You can also get access to our Discord, which is a lot of fun. So like you guys are chatting right now in the chat box, we have that in our Discord. That thing is running 24/7.
Signing up for the Patreon just for the experience of being able to access the Discord alone makes it all worth it. You get to have these extended conversations, the dialogue. It's really a community, a family, based, and you're going to get in there and you're going to have a good time. You're going to enjoy all hours of the day, mind you. So if you are a morning person, that's okay. Somebody's up ready to talk to you. If you're a late night person, that's fine too. Someone's up in the Discord and they're ready to talk to you. So it's just a really good time. I'm not in the Discord that often, but when I am, it's very lively and respectable. So I'm telling you, make sure you have $5 in your pocket. We know you do. Please sign up for the Discord. And please sign up for Patreon because you'll really enjoy access to the Discord.
Yes. And then when Yolanda leaves, it's LBHT After Dark.
No, it's not. It's never.
It's not.
If there is, I clean that right up. All right. But yes, patreon.com/LBHT show. Sign up, email us, let's talk about it. Let's get you a member. All right. Because you guys this goes towards building our community. And that's exactly what we're trying to do here. We're building a big community, not just us. Hendo with the Roll Pod, Coach Evans over at Sip Tally Films. All right. Open mic, OTR mic, Chris just joking. Like we're building we all work together. If you don't know that by now, you should know. When Coach does a video, he leads you right to us. The videos I put out earlier that should have led you to Coach's videos. We are trying hard to build something here. Look who's here. OTR Quan says BET Uncut. Nah, it can't be that. What's going on, Quan? Shout out to you, man. All right. Panthers talk. We gotta put the background here too. Okay. You gotta put the background here too. All right. So back to some football talk. Panthers are searching for their new head coach. And I think and GM. I think they already found a new head coach. I think that was pretty well established a while back when they said that Ben Johnson is looking for X amount of money. I think that was him openly saying, Panthers, if you want me, this is what's going to cost you. And David Tepper on Friday is going to say deal.
I don't think that's what that was. I think that was him saying, Panthers, you can't afford me, or you're not going to be willing to pay me what I want. I'm not coming. I think he was sending a message there. I don't think he's going to end up in Carolina. He's also interviewing in Washington the same day. Washington has hired their GM, the highly coveted Adam Peters out of San Francisco. And look, Washington is just a better job right now. You have more pieces to work with. It absolutely. You've got more people to work with in Washington than you do in Carolina, and you don't have David Tepper to deal with in Washington. So I don't think that he's going to end up there. They are, there was a rumor, or I guess, I don't know. Yeah, rumor, because I don't think it was based on anything. But Dan Graziano said he thinks that Brian Callahan is going to end up the head coach in Carolina.
Brian Callahan? Okay, so I'm gonna make an argument for Panthers and why it's a better job. All right, if you're being interviewed and they tell you an interview, man, I'll let you pick your boss, and I'll give you more money than any of the competitors. All right, that's a huge one up. I got a little notification here. Shout out to D Weezy for $4.20 donation. It says bonus trivia. One of these does not belong. Since 1997, Google search engine launched, MP3s were invented, flat screen TVs were invented, and the Cowboys made it to an NFC championship. Wow. Wow. Oh, you know what? I was wondering why it didn't come up on my screen. Let me change the.
Oh my goodness. Just leaving. Always leaving.
Listen, I'm gonna just say this. I don't think he's going for the Panthers job. Didn't they try to interview him last year?
Yeah.
And he just didn't get on the plane. He just didn't get on the plane. It was like
he said no. But to be fair, he didn't take a job last year.
True.
He just went back to Detroit. But I don't think he's got the interest in Carolina.
I had to give it animation.
But to your point, Jose, about picking your own boss, like that's exactly what David Tepper said he's not going to allow people to do. That's why he doesn't want to talk to Jim Harbaugh, allegedly. He doesn't want to give up that kind of control to the new coach.
Yeah, but you're interviewing the coach without the GM. I mean, what does that tell you, right? Like,
no, it just tells you that they're going to do it separately. Like, it doesn't mean that the coach gets to pick the new GM. Like for what's his name? in Seattle. I forget the GM's name now. He's been there
Schneider?
for a long time. Yes, Schneider.
Mm.
He was just talking about how he got hired and thought he was going to be able to pick the head coach, and they were like, "No, we already picked our head coach. You're just working with Pete Carroll."
Yeah, no, I think Ben Johnson, because he's made it known he wants Ben Johnson. I think he says, "Yeah, I'm picking the GM. We got that, but we're gonna take your input." Like I don't think they're gonna pick somebody. If Ben Johnson says, "I don't want to work with that guy," they're gonna pick that guy. Like what Byron Leftwich did with the Jaguars.
Right.
I think if it's somebody that he strongly objects to, they say, "All right, we don't hire him then." Right? So he does have some sway on that.
He does, but what if he just doesn't want to be there?
Making the assumption that he's interested in the job, and that's
Right.
what I'm saying. I don't think he's interested in the job at all. I think he's going to just use that as leverage for getting more money from where he actually wants to go. Because again, it's nowhere near as good a job as Washington at this point. Because the level of talent is not really close for Carolina, and again, no one wants to work with David Tepper because he has that rep already that he's not patient.
Mm-hmm.
They fired their coach mid-season 3 times since he's been there, and he ain't been there much more than 3 years. And he has the reputation of being a meddler, right? Like that he inserts himself into the team business, and people don't really. He's Jerry Jones without the rings right now.
I need to interrupt real quick because we have a celebrity in the house.
Okay.
Mr. Tough Puppy, what's going on?
What's up,
Tough Puppy? Good to see you, man. Hope everything is well with you. Happy New Year. All right, go ahead, Hendo. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, no, you're good. But like you said yourself, they wanted him. Tepper wanted him last season, and nobody wants a Jerry Jones type because what you said earlier. I think you said earlier in the year that what's his face? Who was the last coach? Frank Wright. He had to report to Tepper on a weekly basis and give him updates.
And my man said it's not fun,
right? So why would I want to go to a meddling owner who hasn't gotten a GM yet? I may have to report to him, and you're known for firing your coaches. You wanted me last year, so if this team would have been in the same predicament last year, would you have fired me 11 games in? I wouldn't go to a franchise like that because even if the money's right, some especially young coaches, they want stability, and I'm not going to uproot my family, move them down to Charlotte just for you to fire me in a season or a half a season. Now I got to go back and try to find a job somewhere else, uproot my family once again. So to me, it's just not worth it. And it's not even always about the talent level. It's about the stability of the organization.
Right. I absolutely agree. And that was a great analogy, Brodny. He's like a Jerry Jones sans the rings. And who wants to have a micromanager who's at the end of the day, that's what it is. Who wants to have a micromanager who has been unsuccessful at managing a business in terms of being relevant in the NFL? Shade, Brodny. I'm just saying.
I mean, come on.
Okay.
We still are to be friends after this, right? Like
I promise I'm nearing the end. But who would want to work with that? And who would want to work with that level of uncertainty? Okay. And when you're not surrounding your players with the talent they need to be successful, and then when you have an epic collapse, 6-7 games in, it's the head coach's fault. You gotta go.
Mm-hmm. Now, this person has thrown his name in the hat. I brought this up to B. He laughed me off the phone. Okay, but MDT Sports has brought this back up, and I don't think it's so funny anymore. All right, Panthers get Cam Newton in management. Right. Now, if Cam, okay, he's a leader of men. All right, he has relationships with players, coaches. Right, he has that charisma. If Cam is in the building, does that attract a coach, a quality coach there?
No.
I say yes.
But will they want Cam back in the building is the question. Now you have to admit defeat. You have to admit you made a grave mistake.
Yeah. No, all jokes aside, you're right, Yolanda. Ultimately, somebody like Tepper is not going to admit his faults, and that's what it's going to take. I think if Tepper could get Ben Johnson, Tepper could say, "Hey, listen, I made a lot of mistakes. Okay. Yeah, I made a lot of mistakes. I thought I knew everything. I didn't. I'm going to step back, right? I'm gonna be upfront with you. What I did with Frank Reich was wrong. I was just I was too hands on. I should have let him be. I'm not going to make that same mistake with you. We're going to bring a GM in here. You two are going to work closely together. I'll poke my head in, make sure everything is good, but I'm not going to meddle. This is all you and said GM and president or whatever, right? He could do that, and I think it would work, but I don't think he will do that.
I don't think it will work because it's not a scenario where Ben Johnson has to say, "Hey, okay, I'll take that job," or I'm just stuck where I'm at. He's got options. He's one of the arguably the most sought after candidate this offseason, right? Yeah. So he can say, "Yeah, that all sounds good. You sound really sincere, but I'm not risking my career on that. Right. I'm gonna go to a better situation and let." Like I told you all weeks ago, I bet their next head coach is black. I'm going to let a black coach risk it on that, okay? I'm going to let Raheem Morris take this job.
Eric Bieniemy?
I don't think they're even talking to Eric Bieniemy.
They could.
Another one that they interviewed last year, and the rumor, well, we know that Bieniemy wanted this, but he wanted to work with Cam, and the rumor is that's why they didn't want to hire him. Because he wanted to keep Cam. Not last year, obviously, but before.
They could accidentally get a good coach.
Yeah. And I saw somebody, I forget who was on Twitter pointing out, excuse me, that Raheem Morris, excuse me, worked with their current coordinators in LA. Evero and Thomas Brown. He worked with both of them when he was in LA. Mm-hmm. So, that could be a way of keeping the all-star coaching staff together, which lasted about 11 games.
All right. Well, I mean, there is some hope, but the interview starts with Ben Johnson. They like I said, they can accidentally get themselves a good coach because, they might end up with a black head coach that's just good. Mm-hmm. Right.
I have a question for anyone, Panthers fans or whoever. Who would you want? If you could have your pick, who would you want as head coach?
Well, that's a great question, Yolanda. And that's why we're going to segue right into submitted questions. We did have a submitted question from our guy, Coach Evans. It says, of all the candidates out there, who does Brodny prefer as the next Panthers coach?
John Harbaugh.
But you know what? I'm not like Coach. I'm going to say we can all answer it. Okay. And no, not John Harbaugh. I don't like John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh's not a good coach. I do prefer Jim Harbaugh, but they're not even talking to him, so I'm not even going to get my hopes up for that. Mm-hmm. Right now, I mean, there's a lot of coaches who I would be happy with, a lot of coaches who I would like. Right now, I'm going to say my preferred head coach is Dave Canales out of Tampa Bay.
Wait, what was the question again? Because you broke up on my end.
Who do you
of
prefer?
All the candidates out there, who does Brodny prefer as the Panthers' next head coach?
Oh, okay.
And the reason is Bryce Young is the future of the team.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't got a first round pick, so even if they didn't believe in him, he's still the future for at least next year, right? So you need to invest in Bryce Young, and investing in Bryce Young is not just about the O-line and the wide receivers and the skill players on offense. It's about the coaching as well. Don't know what's going to happen with Jim Caldwell and Thomas Brown or any of the other guys who are still on staff, but you can go in the direction of getting a head coach who can groom quarterbacks. And Dave Canales was the quarterbacks coach in Seattle with Russell Wilson for several years, and then he kind of helped orchestrate Geno Smith's return to prominence.
Yeah.
And then he went to Tampa Bay and took what we all looked at, rightfully so, as garbage, and turn him into a playoff quarterback. And they got a playoff win out of Baker Mayfield this year, right? So he's gotten great performances out of the quarterbacks, in those two stops. So I would say go ahead and bring him in and see what he can do with Bryce next season.
Yeah.
Yolanda, who would you want to see there?
Anybody except Mike McDonald.
Just
well said. What about you, Hendo?
Brian Flores.
All right, I'm disappointed in all of you. You are all wrong. The answer is right here in the chat. Coach Evans from Sip Tally Film says, "Me, I can help Bryce."
We were wrong.
Yeah.
We were all wrong.
Now, coach is joking, but I fully believe that coach could be a
Much better
head coach than half the coaches in the NFL. Yes, I don't know how many times I've said it on the show. I believe at least half of the coaches in the league and execs in the league are not qualified for their jobs. They got their jobs through nepotism. If coach was a head coach of one of these teams, they would be a successful team. Coach knows football.
Yes.
And offense.
Yes.
Especially offense.
What's going on, D Melo? Salute to you, man. Thanks for coming through.
And thank you, Coach. I appreciate the way you break down film and the way you talk about the sport. For someone who doesn't have like a football background, you make it really understandable. And so whenever you say a word that I'm not familiar with, I'll say, oh gosh, Coach used this word in one of his streams. Let me go look that up. And then I'll rewatch your video and then I'm like, oh, that's what he meant. So.
And Raheem Ali, I see the answer in there.
Is he talking about Mike? That's why I frowned, because I was like, is he talking about Vrabel?
No. Look up. Look further up.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I skipped over that comment. Like,
boo. No.
We will not do that.
I think he's talking about Mike Vrabel, though, for Tennessee's next coach. Mike Vrabel.
No.
You guys don't like Vrabel?
No.
Not a big fan of Vrabel. I mean, he's fine. I don't think he's a decent bad coach, but
decent.
Yeah. He's a C plus.
Not for my little cousins, though. Not for the Panthers. Not for the little guys. No.
How about so?
All right.
Moving on to our next question here. Do you think exclusive streaming games is better for the consumer? Thank you very much, Jeremy. The answer to that one is no. It's not better for anyone except for the platform who paid a bunch of money to get that game, and sometimes probably not even better for them. Peacock paid $110 million to get the rights to the was it the Lions and the Rams, I believe. But yeah, and it streamed exclusively.
It was the Kansas City.
Kansas City. Yeah,
it was Kansas City.
Dolphins.
Kansas City and Miami. So they got the exclusive rights to stream that, and I can't imagine you got too many people to sign up, not paying. So like, what do you really? I mean, I guess you're getting exposure.
It was a test
for the platform and all that kind of things, but I don't know if they're getting much else out of it. But no, exclusive streaming for games is awful for the consumer.
Horrible. Andrew, what are you saying here? He says Vrabel is like Tomlin to me, successful but still bleh. Vrabel got Super Bowl,
right? As a coach,
right? As a coach, did he make the playoffs this year? I don't know.
No, he got fired. He got fired.
Oh, okay.
And Tomlin's coming back.
He's not even close to being Tomlin. He's not even close to being Tomlin.
How many winning seasons does he have?
Not as many as Tomlin.
I mean, losing seasons does he have?
Right.
Tomlin has zero. What's up, Andrew? Thanks for coming through. This is a terrible thing that they're doing, and I think they're going to bail from this. I'm gonna tell you a little story. I was in New Orleans with OTR Mike and some of our friends, OTR Brandon. Okay, and we were at this hotel. We were actually in the lobby watching the first game. Who was first? That was the
Cleveland, Houston.
Yes, and I was like, hey. I got a suite, right? You guys can just come up to my suite and we can watch the game up there. Put it on TV, we can order some food, got drinks and everything like that. We can chill up there. So a bunch of fellas came up there, trying to look for the game. It's not there. They're like, oh, it's on Peacock. All right, well, let's see if we can, get it on the TV. They got a little setup over there. Not working. Okay. Go back down to the lobby, see if they can put it on the on the screen at the bar. They're like, oh yeah, we don't have Peacock. We're like, we don't order it here, right? Okay. So we tried and we went back to our good old trusty E Street to watch the game. because that's the only thing that's reliable nowadays is watching things on E Street. If you don't know what E Street is, we'll talk later. Join our Discord. I'll get you straight. But no, it's ridiculous. The reason why the NFL is the most popular sport, in big part, is because of availability. It is available on all the major networks that are free, that don't cost. You don't have to pay cable or anything like that for. Now, yes, they have Monday Night Football that comes on ESPN. Most people have ESPN, right? And the people that don't have ESPN, okay, it's one game that's during the regular season. It's not the playoffs. Okay. Amazon can get away with it on Thursday night, because Thursday night is just, those games most of the time aren't great, but also everybody has Amazon, right? So they can get away with that because everybody has Amazon. They have Amazon Prime already. All right. You have to get that if you want your package within 5 days. All right. So they can get away with that. It's a perfect blend there. Peacock can't get away with that because nobody has Peacock, and nobody's going to get Peacock to watch these games, not even a playoff game. I'm curious to see how many more subscribers they got from that game. My guess is it ain't worth the $100 million that they paid.
Yeah, but it's not going to go away. They're not the only ones to do this. The NBA does this too. They put playoff games on NBA TV that nobody has. They're just going to keep pushing, and they're going to try and force people into just submitting to exclusive streaming games. And eventually people will, because you're going to watch football.
Over here.
Next up, last question for the evening from Jerome Bigby. Who's your offensive and defensive X factors for the game against the Texans this weekend? Yolanda?
Offensive X factor for me would be Lamar Jackson for a myriad of reasons. I think that he has to be the Lamar Jackson that we know. He has to do it. This is a game where if he has to put the entire team on his back, he's going to do it, and I believe he will. He's got to do it, and I believe he will. Especially if, like Jose said, the offense starts off a little rusty. We don't want to be that come from behind team. We don't want to be that team that's playing catch up. So I think Lamar would be the X factor for me. Defense, I would say it would have to be Roquan Smith, because I think if there is anyone who is able to motivate and just energize and bring that spark of life, that, the absolute beast mentality to everyone on the defense, it would have to be Roquan. And that one person would make sure, and I think he did an interview, excuse me, or Roquan was asked, what did you say to Lamar on the sidelines at one of the games, the games of the final stretch? And he said, I told him, I'm going to make sure that we on the defense, we're doing what we need to do. You're going to take care of the offense, and you make sure the offense needs to do what they need to do. But as far as the defense, I've got us. And so for me, it would be Roquan Smith.
All right. What you know?
Offensive X factor would have to be the wide receiving core. This is the one group that I'm not going to say I'm concerned with, because I think that Lamar, through all of his experience, he's going to be fine. He's going to do Lamar type things. I just think, just from past experience, this is the group that's let Lamar down the most in the playoffs. And we don't know if Zay is truly healthy. We don't really know the availability of Odell Beckham. He appears healthy, but we've seen him play 18 snaps a game. This is the playoffs. This is possibly the last 3 games of the season. I need Odell to go all out. I need Nelson Aguilar to kind of catch the ball. Just don't be you in the regular season. Catch the ball. And I think if they do everything they need to do, Lamar is going to lead us to an easy win. Defensively, my X factor is going to have to be Brandon Stevens. Even if Marlon Humphrey does play, he's going to play in a limited role, and we need somebody that can guard Nico Collins. Because I think if you can take Nico Collins out of the game, it limits the Houston Texans a lot, and it limits what CJ Stroud can do, because he doesn't have Tank Dell anymore because he went down with a broken leg. So if Brandon Stevens can kind of control him for the most part, I don't expect him to shut him down, but he can't give up the big plays like Cleveland did. And if he does, Once again, easy win.
All right, I'm gonna say, I agree. It's Lamar offense, and look, Roquan, that's the easy one. Obviously, we know what way he's gonna bring. But I'm gonna go a different route here. I'm gonna say on defense, Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen is, I believe, he's playing his last 3 games for the Baltimore Ravens. Right, these 3 games are payday for him. Okay. He balls out throughout the playoffs and Super Bowl, his stock goes through the roof. I think you're going to see a level of Patrick Queen that you haven't seen before. All right. I think he absolutely balls out in the playoffs.
That's an excellent point. And I guess we can use the same theory with Justin Madubuike, possibly Geno Stone.
Yep.
I don't think Madubuike can't make any more money he already made. He's going to get paid top dollar.
He's going to get paid, but
top dollar.
But if he shows up in,
he will.
These are the games that everybody, all the teams that haven't made it or are out, everybody's watching.
Yeah.
Right. So all eyes are on them. So yes, guys that are on contract.
Yeah.
One of those 2 players is going to be really upset after the season because somebody's getting the franchise tag. And it ain't gonna be close to what they was gonna get. But I'm gonna be mad.
Very upset.
All right, we got to speed this up. Please look at the time.
I guess I don't get to say mine.
Oh, okay. I mean, you're giving me that look like, hey, wrap it up.
No, I was reading something else. I think offensively, I'm gonna say Mark Andrews.
Who?
I think that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say Mark Andrews. I think that you don't want to be leaning on rookies in Zay Flowers and basically rookie and Isaiah Likely because he's only actually shown up in like 5 games. I don't think that you want to be leaning on those guys to be your playmakers on offense. I think that you need to see Mark Andrews show up in a big way. And let me preface this by saying I think they don't really need any X factors this week. They're going to blow out Houston, but just general in the playoff push. So I think Mark Andrews on offense, because he's going to need him to be there and be reliable. When he throws it to you in the end zone, you got to catch it.
That's not bad.
I know, that's why I'm pointing it out. On defense, I think the X factor is Kyle Hamilton. I think he is the biggest playmaker for Baltimore on that defense. He's all over the field. He does a little bit of everything. And to your point, Yolanda, if you're looking for a turnover, you're looking for a game-changing play, Kyle Hamilton is the guy who's going to get it for you. Because Odafe doesn't get snaps anymore. So X factors, Mark Andrews and Kyle Hamilton.
Bang, bang.
All right. So 83 people still in here. Salute to you guys.
Nice.
If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. We haven't been doing these segments justice recently, but we're not going to start tonight. Okay. This is hashtag no 2 hours. We're going to pick it back up. First of all, Combat Corner, Ring Kings podcast. Go subscribe over there. We're going to start ramping things back up here pretty soon. All right. Just bear with us. But Combat Corner, Artur Beterbiev versus Callum Smith. Artur Beterbiev is one of he is the premier knockout artist in boxing right now. He has 100% knockout rate. He has knocked out every person he has fought. He is a monster. So this Callum Smith knockout comes as no surprise. And the biggest challenge, one of the biggest fights that most people don't know about because he's not a household name, but him against
Dimitri
Bivol. And if you don't know who Dimitri Bivol is, that is the last person to beat Canelo Alvarez. He beat him pretty soundly too.
He only beat him 12 rounds to 0.
He used Canelo's head as a punching bag. But yes. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So we're waiting for that fight to materialize, but that is the fight at light heavyweight. You want to add anything more to that, B?
No, I would disagree that he's the premier knockout artist. I would still go with Monster Inoue, even though he does have the 100%, just because he hasn't really fought a whole lot of really good fighters. Callum Smith, though, that knockout is very impressive, as Callum Smith had never even been knocked down in his career. And you could tell by the way he fell, he did not look comfortable falling. Like, he doesn't practice that at all. It was very awkward, but it was a very impressive win, and they're looking to put that fight together hopefully sometime this summer. They said about 3 months after Ramadan ends, they're going to try and get that going. So that's going to be one of the biggest fights of the year, if and when they do pull it off, which they better do it soon, because Beterbiev just turned 39.
Yeah. He looks like he's 29 though. Okay. Oh, so I want to shift over to basketball real quick. Now I put in there this trade for Pascal Siakam, but I did want to acknowledge this. There was this Warriors assistant coach. I'm gonna mess up his name. Dejan Milojevic. Yes. Yeah, he passed away. 46 years old. Had a heart attack at team dinner. So they canceled the game. I believe. I'm not sure if it was tonight or
they postponed the game against. I want to say it was Utah. They postponed.
And I knew when I read it earlier, they say they're postponing the game because one of the coaches was sent to the hospital. I knew it was bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, oh, this does not sound good. And then they announced that he passed away. Very sad. So heart goes out to him and his family for that. I had in the title here, Pacers trade for Pascal Siakam. If you're not a basketball head, too bad. Okay, because we talk basketball here too. All right, Pascal Siakam coming from the Toronto Raptors. Hendo, your thoughts on this trade?
I think it's a home run for Indiana, since they didn't have to give up anything.
Yeah.
They gave up Bruce Brown 3 first, and no disrespect to Bruce Brown, he's a solid player, but
yes.
I mean, Pascal Siakam is an all-star. They gave Bruce Brown 3 first-round picks, and I want to say there was another player involved, but nobody who's taking away from Indiana's rotation. Yeah. Initially, the reports where they were offering Buddy Hield, another player, and a first-round pick. They didn't have to give up anybody from their starting lineup or their rotation, and so they're adding an all-star to pair with Tyrese Halliburton, and not really losing a whole lot. So yeah, I think it's a great trade for Indiana, and I think it's a good trade for Toronto as well, because Siakam's getting a little, he's getting up there in age a bit, and they're not really competing right now. So they get 3 first-round picks to try and turn their situation around later.
All right, you want to add anything to that, Hendo?
I don't know. I mean, I just agree with him. They didn't give up anything. And I think the loss in the in-season tournament game to the Lakers kind of showed them what they were missing. This was Bruce Brown's first year with the Pacers. And I guess he just really wasn't a good fit coming from Denver. And if you don't have to give up anything and you can get yourself an all-star, someone that's going to kind of help lead you, because the Pacers, they haven't been it for a while. They haven't been it since Paul George, and who's your boy who blew in LeBron's ear? Stevenson. Stevenson. So they're just trying to get back into relevance. And I think in the beginning, when they made that run in up to the in-season tournament, they showed what they could be. But then I think they ran into LeBron and realized we need a little bit more. We just don't have enough, especially size-wise down low.
All right. Well said. Yolanda,
I haven't been keeping up with it, but I mean, whatever the Pacers need to do to become relevant again.
All right. Cool. All right, we're gonna wrap this up.
If it can happen for them, it can happen for Orlando.
We're gonna wrap this up with trivia time.
You just worry about the Lakers.
They're playing right now.
Yeah, they were barely ahead. I think just by a couple of points.
We went from about 85 in here to 65. Yes, it is winding down to the end of the show. Oh, the 20 people that left. Oh, you're missing out on some extra the opportunity to get some extra points.
They're also missing out on the divisional round predictions that we have to do before.
Yeah, they are.
Well, I was gonna skip. I mean, all right.
It's only 4 games.
Okay, let's talk about. Right. I didn't upload a graphic for it.
That's okay.
So you go off the dome.
All right. So Ravens, Texans, we all predicting Ravens win at least comfortably.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying 41-24.
I'm saying 45-20.
36-37-21.
I'm gonna say 35-21.
Okay. The next Saturday game, very intriguing game. The Green Bay Packers traveling to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. In this one, I am going to take Green Bay. I think they are red hot. Jordan Love's been playing great. They have 5 really good young receivers. Aaron Jones is back. Luke Musgrave is back. The defense, I mean, they found their way to the bus the last couple of weeks, so that's nice for them. And Brock Purdy's a fraud.
Wow. I'm going 49ers, man. I'm going 49ers. Green Bay ain't ready yet.
Yeah, listen, number 1 seed, they're well rested. They have the bye, they have the experience. Most of that team has been to a championship game or to a Super Bowl, so I'm picking Green Bay.
You know what? I changed my mind because I saw Nick Bosa in an interview saying Jordan Love is one of the good ones that knows his place.
Did he really?
Something
like that? Something like that.
Something that effect. So he's going to get slapped down again. I'm going Green Bay.
Yeah, you got to go Green Bay. Listen, since like week 9 or something like that, Jordan Love has thrown 20-something touchdowns and 1 interception. Like, he's found his place, and I think he's going to ride that hot streak. And
so you sound like Nick Bosa now.
49ers are going down.
Yeah, I'm taking Green Bay in the upset.
I can't pick Green Bay.
All right, I'll pick Green Bay.
Now we jinxed it.
I just think that Jordan Love is finding his stride, and he just needed the opportunity. He's had it, or he has it, and I think he's going to make the most of it.
All right, so moving on to Sunday afternoon, 3:00, Tampa Bay going to Detroit, who won their first home playoff game in 32 years.
Yes.
They're going to make it their second home playoff game this week. They're going to beat the absolute hell out of Tampa Bay.
You can't bet against Baker Mayfield. Tampa Bay.
I'm taking Tampa.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm going Detroit.
Wow.
Okay.
Tampa Bay, 2 of you. Unbelievable. Sunday evening, the Kansas City Chiefs, for the first time with Patrick Mahomes, going on the road to play the Buffalo Bills up there in not Orchard Park, but I don't know what they call the new stadium, so I don't really care.
Snowden Park.
I don't know. Buffalo has looked good recently, right? There was a point where they were not going to make the playoffs. It looked like they fought back. As one meme on Twitter put it, they are undefeated ever since Sean McDermott revealed he worships Al Qaeda. But they beat Miami for the division. Then they smack down Pittsburgh, right? But we know that Miami are frauds. They can't beat good teams.
True.
And if you watch the Pittsburgh game, there was not a whole lot of effort out there. Now, particularly if you pay attention to one play, that was the Josh Allen touchdown run of 50+ yards. There was a point where he stopped and he did a little, I don't know,
fake slide.
little jig. I mean, I don't even know what to really call it. It looked ugly. It didn't look like he knew what was going on. But then he accelerated. He ran away from everybody. But if you look at Minkah Fitzpatrick on that play, my man was just standing there watching him. He literally just looked at him and then was like, "Man, where's he going? Oh, I should chase him. Oh no, he's gone." And it was awful. I think that Pittsburgh should be ashamed of themselves for the way they played. There were parts of that game where they kind of fought back, but then they were like, "Nah, that's too much. Let's lay down again." So I don't think that Buffalo is what they appear. I think Kansas City's going to go in there, and I think Kansas City's going to they're going to get their revenge for the Kadarius Toney incident. And then they're going to remind them of the 14-second incident. I'm taking Kansas City by, I'm going to say 21.
Wow. Okay.
Josh Allen, regular season, is 3-0 versus Patrick Mahomes. But come playoff time, he is 0-2. And I'm sticking with that. You don't bet against Patrick Mahomes. Kansas City, I'm not going to say by 21, maybe by 6, but Kansas City wins this game.
I bet against Patrick Mahomes when they play the Ravens every time. I might not be successful many times, but I'm still going to always take the Ravens over Patrick. But for this particular matchup, I think I'm going with Kansas City, but I don't think it will be by much. I can say maybe no more than 10 points. 1 score, possibly 2. That's it.
Okay.
My pick.
J6 says if Josh don't beat Mahomes this time, he never will. I got news for you, Jay. He ain't doing it this time. I'm going Kansas City.
All right. So that's it for the picks. We're going to do trivia time real quick. As we mentioned, Detroit had not won a home playoff game in 32 years. They finally got over that hump this past week. So, congratulations to them. The last time they won a home playoff game was the 1991 season. They played against, hilariously, Dallas. 3 quarterbacks played in that game. Who was the leading passer?
Oh, 3 quarterbacks for Detroit?
3 quarterbacks total.
In
Total.
general,
Okay. Who was the leading passer in that game? The last time Detroit won a playoff game, there are 3 quarterbacks that played in that game between Detroit and Dallas. Who was the leading passer? That is the question.
Like Jose always says, type fast.
Type fast, because we got to get out of here soon, okay? This is 4 points. This is 4 points. All right? Type fast. Look for that answer. And
I know 2 of the quarterbacks. Who was the 3rd quarterback?
now, while we're discussing this, I want to remind everybody, as soon as we finish up here, we're going over to the Overtime Show, which you can find on our Patreon. Patreon.com/LBHT Show is where you can find us. Okay, this is what we're discussing right here. Fans are not happy with Nick Sirianni. Okay, one decided he wanted to assault him with some popcorn. And we're going to talk about fans and maintaining their emotions and reminding themselves that you are, in fact, an adult. Okay, it's okay to have childlike emotions. Do not act upon them.
All right. Brandon Buck, what is wrong with you?
What
All
Buck
of
say?
the things.
He said Stafford.
Okay.
1991.
He gave you the year. You have Google at the tip of your hands.
And we got our
AI
answers.
generated, but
Living
whatever.
legend, Eric Kramer.
All right.
Spelled it wrong, but yeah.
He did indeed.
Noah gets
I wasn't
points as
gonna point that
well,
out.
and Ferris.
Yes, Noah and Ferris. Congratulations. Points incoming.
Only her part of the question.
He threw for over 300 yards in that game. Troy Aikman split time with Steve Berline.
I got news for you, Buck. There's a rewind button on YouTube as well. Just saying. I mean,
you thought the trivia question was who led the game in passing this past week? All right. That is it. We're getting out of here. Hendo, real quick, let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me on the Road Pod, where I do a live stream every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Also, you can find me on Mondays with Jose Brodny, OTL Mike, Chris Just Joking, and Coach Evans on Sip to Tally doing the Ravens Roundup. On Tuesdays, you can find me with my man, Mr. Galloway, on Electric Relaxation, talking all things hip-hop, especially everything old school. That's pretty much it right now. I think we're going to live stream the game on Saturday. If I'm not mistaken, Yolanda, it's a possibility. I don't really know. Also, I think I'm like 9 people away from 3,500. Had a really good day today. So make sure if you can go over there and get me to 3,500. Also, if you want to sign up to my Patreon, patreon.com/ROUG. And that's pretty much it for me right now.
All right. Hey, Yolanda, they can find you
in the chat.
In the
And
Until
what's
the
the name
channel
of your
comes
new channel?
out. Yolanda B Raven.
All right, we gotta get out of here, B. Are you ready?
Of course.
B is ready. Everybody, thank you so much. Patrons, get ready. The Overtime Show is starting in a couple of minutes. Everybody else, thank you very much. Have a great night. We will see you next time. Peace.
I'm just gonna wait until like 157.